viewers, welcome back to my channel. Today's vlog is going to be about the day I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. The diabetic journey started off 3 years ago with me venting about some past traumas and experiences that I felt that I needed to get off my chest. And it's actually been very therapeutic for me. And then eventually I just wanted to hear more about everybody else's stories and experiences with diabetes. And it just kind of skyrocketed into this social media diabetes awareness type thing. And I love it. It's like a community full of people that can all relate to one another. So most of the time I'm kind of in the back, kind of just managing all the accounts and stuff and sharing people's stories. But now I kind of want to get my face out there more and show you that I still have a lot more to tell. I want to show you guys my life and, share things that maybe you didn't really know about me to begin with. So let's get started. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 12 years old, and it was like yesterday, it feels like, because you don't forget something like that. It's very vivid in your memory. I was a typical teenage girl trying to figure out, who I was and what I liked. I come from a family with no diabetes in the family. My family didn't know about type 1 diabetes, no clue that I had diabetes before, I was brought to the emergency room. So it was a complete surprise. My story brings a lot of, sadness, because when I think about the day I was diagnosed, all I can think about is the people or person that was there with me, and that was my mom. And my mom recently just passed away not too long ago in October of last year. So sharing this story brings a lot of memories that I cherish, and I remember her just, me and her were going through it, and that's the person that I leaned on the most at the time. So, it makes me think of her a lot when I share this story. So the day I was diagnosed was in the month of December. It was around Christmas break. I experienced a lot of dry mouth, no saliva. I was tired. I lost a bunch of weight. I didn't do anything. All I did was lay on my bed and make trips back and forth to the bathroom. I was completely out of it. Around that time, I believe I had a bug prior to the onset of diabetes. I'm pretty sure that an illness caused my body to attack the cells in my pancreas. I'm pretty sure about that, because around that time, that's when the flu's going around and viruses and bugs and whatnot. But regardless, yeah. So I told my mom, and my mom was kind of like, well, if it's a virus, a stomach bug, the flu, there's really nothing that doctors can do about it. I got sick a lot as a kid, and it was common for me to come down with something. She figured that it would pass. After about a week, I was still really sick, and I didn't appear any better, actually worse. So one morning, my mom brought me to the emergency room, and I thank God that she did that, because with so many children and adults being misdiagnosed, I don't know if I would still be here if I went to a normal doctor's office. So going to the emergency room, they tested my blood, and I'm sure right off the bat they could tell that all of my levels were off. and my glucose was very high. It was 900 something, and that is very deadly. I could have gone into a coma or died. If it had been hours, maybe a day or two later, I would have died. So it just puts it in perspective how, you know, how blessed I am to be here, and how everything kind of, somebody was looking down on me on that day. So I am blessed. So after, the initial kind of diagnosis, me and my mother were just like, maybe she was kind of protecting me by not filling me in. And she probably really didn't know much about it. They transported me to All Children's Hospital, which is an amazing hospital. When I was brought into the hospital, I was just getting worse. They checked me again. They did an IV. They couldn't get an IV. They were poking me in my hand. It was terrible. I was just laying there on the bed like, oh my God, I feel like I'm dying. And when the doctors came in, they sat my mother down. I was kind of out of it, and they told my mom that I had type 1 diabetes. And at first, when I heard that, I thought, maybe it's the good kind, because you think type 1, so that means that there's another type. Maybe mine is not as severe. I really didn't know. And I think my mom told me that she almost fainted. She was completely distraught. I just remember her in tears, crying, hugging me, kissing me, telling me it was going to be okay. And all I was thinking was, I want to get out of here. I want to feel better. What is, going on? Like, when you're under that, your body's under that much stress, you can't process what is going on. You feel, like you're fighting to live. So they brought me up to the ICU, and that's when it all began. I got, an insulin drip. I was given my first syringe shot. I just was completely taken back by everything. It doesn't really hit you at first. It takes a while to let it all sit in. I remember my mom putting me on the phone with my dad, and he was in complete disbelief. Like, I don't know how you got diabetes. No one in my family has diabetes. My mom and my dad were not together, so my mom's she was a single parent taking care of me, and it just makes me sad to realize that in her shoes she felt completely alone and helpless taking care of me. So yeah, it was just me and her in the hospital. She had to go to work. I was left in the hospital, and then she told her work she's leaving. She's not going to be working that day. She couldn't sleep, she told me. It took a big toll on my family at first. It was me, my mom, my stepdad, and I have 2 brothers that were living with me. So yeah, it was very, very difficult. I remember watching videos of, this is type 1 diabetes, this is what happened, da da da. And at first I didn't really think it would be too hard. And then once I left, and I was like, I want to eat this, I want to eat that, or go back to my regular lifestyle of just being a growing kid, active, that wants to eat because they're hungry, they're growing. I couldn't do that without thinking, wow, I need to take insulin first. I need to check my blood sugar. I need to do this. And it scared me half to death. I didn't like needles. I didn't like checking my blood sugar. I didn't like feeling like I had to have, have an obligation to take care of in order to live my regular normal life that I had. So knowing what it was like before having diabetes and then trying to transition was very difficult because I wasn't mentally, like I couldn't grow up that fast. So that's why I kind of wanted to share this, because I know what it's like being a teenager and isn't mentally capable of taking on this burden right now, because right now, many years later, 17 years later, I am in a completely different mindset than I was then. I'm in control now. Of course, I have my bad days. I have days where I'm like, I don't want to do this, but that's normal because we all get burnt out from this disease. And I feel for people that are diagnosed and it's hard to accept. I went through the 5 stages of grief. I was angry for a very long time, so I just want people to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that our diagnosis makes us stronger, and you will get through this. I did. I reflect on this story a lot now because it brings fond memories of my mom, and I miss her so, so much. And seeing type 1 parents and their struggles, I realize that no one knows what they're doing. You all are doing your best. And my mom did her best, and I appreciate her for keeping me alive. I really do, because she saved me countless times. She was the one person that went through that experience with me, and that's something that will, connect us forever, because she knows exactly what I went through at that time. And yeah, so my diagnosis is it's not much different than many others, but it sheds a little light that I went from a teenager not fully ready to take on this disease to a diabetic now, 17 years later, with good control, no complications, a husband, 3 children, able to manage a lot with diabetes on my back, that you will be okay, you will get through this, and just keep fighting and keep the faith, because hopefully one day type 1 diabetes will be a thing of the past. That's the end of my video today. I want to thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, and I left links below. You could follow my Instagram, Facebook page. I have a Facebook group if you need some support. Thank you, and until next time. Bye, warriors.